The silent boy and the cafe girl, the rain tapped softly against the car windows, a steady rhythm that matched the weight in Nathan's chest. In the back seat, Max stared blankly at his hands, his small fingers clutching a worn-out stuffed bear. 3 years. 3 years since the boy had spoken a single word. "We're here," Nathan said, forcing lightness into his voice. The cafe, the Willow's Edge, was tucked between a bookstore and a laundromat. Its faded green awning fluttering in the wind. Not the kind of place Nathan usually frequented. No velvet ropes, no wait lists, just a quiet corner where no one knew. His name, Max, didn't react as Nathan unbuckled him, his small body limp in his father's arms. The bell above the door jingled as they stepped inside, the scent of cinnamon and coffee wrapping around them. Nathan chose a table by the window, settling Max into a chair. "I'll be right back, okay?" he murmured, though he knew there'd be no answer. He stepped outside to take a call, his breath fogging in the chilly air. Through the glass he watched Max still, silent, a statue of a child. Then she appeared. Lily, her name tag was crooked, her dark hair piled into a messy bun. She didn't approach Max with the clinical sympathy of the therapists, or the forced cheer of the nannies. Instead, she crouched beside his table, eye level, and slid a piece of paper and a box of markers toward him. "I like the green one best," she said casually, as if they were mid-conversation. "But the red's pretty too." Max didn't look up, but his fingers twitched. Lily didn't push. She picked up the red marker and drew a single looping heart on the paper. Then she set it down and walked away. Leaving the supplies within his reach, Nathan held his breath. Slowly, so slowly, Max reached for the red marker. His lips parted, and a sound, barely a whisper, slipped out. "Red." Lily, wiping down the counter, didn't gasp or rush over. She just smiled as if she'd known all along he'd speak. And in that moment, Nathan felt something crack open inside him. Hope, raw and aching, flooding in after years of darkness. Nathan didn't sleep that night. He replayed the moment in his head, Max's voice, soft but unmistakable. Red, a simple word, yet it felt like the first crack in a dam that had held back an ocean of silence. The next morning, instead of heading to his office, he drove Max back to the Willow's Edge. The cafe was quieter today, only a few patrons scattered at the tables. Lily was behind the counter, sleeves rolled up as she steamed milk for a latte. When she spotted them, her face brightened. With the exaggerated cheer adults often used around Max, but with something warmer. Real. "You came back," she said, setting down a small cup of warm milk in front of Max. Nathan watched his son's reaction. Max didn't speak, but his fingers curled around the cup, his eyes flicking up to Lily's face for just a second before looking away. "Progress." Nathan cleared his throat. I don't know how you did it. He hasn't spoken in 3 years." Lily wiped her hands on her apron. "Kids talk when they're ready. Sometimes they just need someone who isn't waiting for them, too." Nathan studied her with a faint smudge of flour on her cheek. The way her sleeves were pushed up to her elbows, like she wasn't afraid of hard work. She wasn't a doctor. She wasn't a specialist. She was just Lily. "Can we sit here for a while?" he asked. She nodded. "Stay as long as you want." Over the next week, they came every day. Max's corner table became his table. Lily kept it stocked with fresh paper and markers, and sometimes when the cafe was slow, she'd sit with him, drawing simple shapes, a sun, a tree, a dogond, waiting to see if Max would copy her, and then one afternoon he did. "Blue," Max murmured, pointing at the marker. Lily didn't react like it was a miracle. She just nodded. "Yeah, blue, like the sky." Nathan's chest tightened. He had spent millions on experts, on therapies, on every possible treatment. And yet, here, in this tiny cafe with a girl who smelled like sugar and ink, Max was finding his voice again. On the 5th day, Nathan finally asked the question that had been burning in his mind. "Why did you drop out of school?" Lily paused, her fingers stilling around the mug she was cleaning. "My brother," she said after a beat. "Joey, he's got Down syndrome. After our mom died, there wasn't anyone else to take care of him." Nathan exhaled. "I'm sorry." She shrugged, but her voice was softer now. It's okay. He's worth it. Nathan thought of Max, of the years he'd spent drowning in his own grief while his son slipped further away. He thought of the way Lily looked at Max not like a problem to fix, but like a person to listen to. I want to hire you, he said. Suddenly, Lily blinked. What? Not as a nanny? Not as a therapist? Just someone to be there for Max. Someone he trusts. Lily hesitated. I can't just leave my job. Joey needs stability. I'll make sure he has it, Nathan said. Whatever he needs, school, doctors, anything. Lily stared at him, her dark eyes searching his face. Then slowly, she shook her head. I need to think about it. Nathan nodded. He understood. Some doors couldn't be rushed. Across the room, Max picked up a green marker and held it out to Lily. Green, he said. And for the first time in years, Nathan felt something like hope take root inside him. The air in Lily's apartment was warm, thick with the scent of cinnamon and laundry detergent. Nathan stood awkwardly in the doorway, holding a bag of art supplies Max had insisted on bringing. The boy was already kneeling on the floor beside Joey, who was grinning as he showed Max how to draw a dinosaur. Joey looked up, his round face lighting up. You're tall, he announced to Nathan. Lily laughed, rubbing her brother's shoulder. Joey, this is Max's dad. Hi, Mr. Max's dad, Joey said cheerfully before turning back to his crayons. Nathan crouched down beside them. You're really good at drawing, he said. Joey beamed. Lily says I'm the best. Lily rolled her eyes, but her smile was fond. I might be biased. Nathan watched Max, who was carefully tracing Joey's dinosaur with a blue crayon. His son's brow was furrowed in concentration, his tongue poking out slightly an expression Nathan hadn't seen in years. Lily handed him a mug of tea. He's doing great, she murmured. Nathan took the cup, his fingers brushing hers. Because of you, she shook her head, because he was ready. They stood in silence for a moment, watching the boys. Joey was now demonstrating how to make a super loud roar for the dinosaur, and Max miraculously let out a tiny, hesitant growl. Joey clapped, delighted. Nathan exhaled. Lily, I meant what I said. I want you and Joey to come live with us. She stiffened. Nathan, not as an employee, he said quickly. As family, Lily's throat worked. You don't even know us. I know enough. He nodded toward Max, who was now giggling as Joey pretended the dinosaur was eating his hand. Look at him. He's happy. And Joey, he glanced at the boy, who was now showing Max how to stick googly eyes on their drawings. He deserves more than this tiny apartment. You both do. Lily's eyes shimmered. It's not that simple. It can be.
Nathan
Reached for her hand, then stopped himself. Let me help. Not because I pity you, because I see you. Lily bit her lip. Then Mom, Max's voice clear and bright, cut through the room. Both adults froze. Max was holding up his drawing a house, 4 stick figures, a sun in the corner. He pointed at Lily. You're here, he said, then at Joey and you. Dad? Nathan's breath caught. Lily knelt beside Max, her voice trembling just slightly. It's perfect. Joey leaned in. Can I live in the house too? Nathan looked at Lily. She looked back, and in that moment the answer was all ready. The moving truck arrived on a Sunday. Lily stood on the steps of Nathan's. No, it's their home. watching as Joey raced inside, his sneakers squeaking on the polished floors. Max chased after him, both boys laughing in a way that made the grand empty halls feel alive for the first time. Nathan came up beside her, hands in his pockets. "You okay?" Lily exhaled. "It's just ... a lot." The house was enormous, all high ceilings and sleek furniture, nothing like her cramped apartment. She half expected to be scolded for touching something expensive, but Nathan just nudged her shoulder. "You'll get used to it." Then Joey's voice echoed from upstairs. "Lily, I need you to see my room." She followed the sound, Nathan. Trailing behind, Joey was bouncing on a bed twice the size of his old one, his arms spread wide. "Look, there's space for all my dinosaurs." The walls were already half covered in his drawings, taped up haphazardly. Next door, Max's room was bathed in sunlight, a brand new art desk waiting by the window. Nathan cleared his throat. "I wasn't sure what colors he liked, so it's perfect," Lily whispered. That night, after the boys were asleep, Lily found Nathan in the kitchen, frowning at a pot of boiling pasta. "Need help?" she asked. He groaned. "Can run $1 billion company, but I can't figure out when this is done." She laughed, nudging him aside. "You're supposed to stir it." Their hands brushed. Neither pulled away. The moments stretched, warm and quiet, until Mom. Max's voice, sleepy but insistent, came from the hallway. Lily turned just as he padded into the kitchen, rubbing his eyes. "I finished my homework," he announced, then paused, blinking at them. ... Are you cooking together?" Nathan coughed, trying to consider this, then shrugged. "Okay, can I have juice?" Lily handed him a glass, her fingers trembling slightly. "Mom," he'd called her Mom. And Nathan hadn't even flinched. When Max scampered back to bed, Nathan finally spoke, his voice rough. "You're good with him." Lily stared at the pasta. "He's easy to love." Nathan's hand found hers, solid and sure. "So are you." The next morning, Joey declared the house needed more glitter. By noon, the dining table was covered in construction paper, glue sticks, and an alarming amount of sequins. Nathan came home from work early, and instead of scolding them, he rolled up his sleeves and asked if they needed more glitter. "Yes," both boys shouted. Lily watched as Nathan helped Joey cut out a lopsided star, his usually perfect hair now dusted with glitter. He caught her staring and grinned. "What?" She shook her head, smiling. "Nothing." But it wasn't nothing. It was everything. A year later, the bell above the willow's edge chimed as the family stepped inside. Max, now chatty and bright-eyed, immediately ran to his old corner table, dragging Joey behind him. "This is where I first talked again," he announced proudly. Lily lingered near the entrance, taking in the familiar scent of coffee and baked bread. The cafe hadn't changed, same wooden floors, same crackling jazz music, but she had. Nathan's hand found hers, his thumb brushing over her knuckles. "You okay?" she squeezed back. "Yeah." The barista, a new girl with pink streaks in her hair, blinked at them. "Oh my God, you're them." Lily blinked. "What?" "The story? It's a silent kid and the nanny who got him to talk. They talk about you here." She leaned forward. "The owner even kept the markers you used." Lily flushed. Nathan chuckled, pulling her closer. At the table, Max was already drawing, Joey adding exaggerated dinosaur roars to his artwork. When the barista brought over their usual order, hot chocolate for the boys, coffee for Nathan, chamomile tea for Lily, Max looked up. "Miss Lily used to work here," he told the barista solemnly. "Now she's my mom." The barista melted, coughed into his coffee. Lily, fighting tears, pressed a kiss to Max's hair. "And you're my kid." Joey shoved his drawing toward Nathan. "And you're my dad now, right?" The cafe fell silent. Nathan's breath caught. Then slowly he nodded. "Yeah, buddy, I am." Outside, the sun broke through the clouds, casting gold over the table where it had all begun. No more silence, just family.